Hi everyone, this is July 2022, third quarter. Last week we have we were somewhere here. This is 1 day chart. We were here and we were expecting to hit this green zone. There are a couple of hurdles. I'll mention the yellow one as an immediate resistance and then of course the recent one. This is where we stand. So we got we wanted as far as Bitcoin bounce is concerned. Now, again, a checkpoint. Each resistance is a checkpoint. We have these key levels from a big picture point of view. There are three key levels to be noted, which I posted on the charts channel. One is this yellow level, which is, I should make this yellow more than orangey. Yeah, 26K, 25K to 26K range. That is the next major level. So this is achieved now. Little bit of retracement that you see is very natural, but it's also a decisive level. Now, so the bounce up to this level is quite normal, like what we have seen. We had seen here in this consolidation phase, when this was the low, then the sideway movement with some bounce. You may compare this with this low. It's not going to be exactly the same, but you will get a flavor of it. It's not going to repeat itself, but sometimes patterns are similar. And if you look at then a low, but higher low, then this is also kind of low and a higher low. There is similarity, and then there is bounce and this bounce. It doesn't mean that now this will follow the same as this, but so far it's kind of similar, interestingly. Anyway, so this could go up. So next move is, so this is a range. It has to clear up. This is the range, especially this yesterday's high has to be cleared up. If this is done, let's say S10 is cleared, then the next zone is this. So the price is going to hop. Now, yeah, so this is the next level. And if this is one of the three requirements. What are the three requirements? The yellow, and then this orangey, which is around 34K, and ultimately 40K, 44K level. So these are the ultimate levels. So you see this one. What are these levels? If it is able to break about this, then we can say now it is not, it is unlikely to make a new low. And if it is able to break about 34,200 level, then we can say now it is heading for new all-time high. And if it is able to break above 44,800, then we can say it is confirming that it's going for new all-time high. This is the interpretation. So about 26K, we can say that it doesn't want to go down. So I think this is the least requirement we have. What we are seeing here is not so important in my point of view. When a longer term trend is concerned, these three levels are the key levels. If you're looking at a weekly time frame kind of a horizon, longer term, because your ultimate goal is to say, okay, when this crap is ending, when this downturn is ending, and when I'm going to see trend reversal. So for that, consider that as this 1, 2, and 3 levels as like 3-step approval, right? 1 of 3, 2 of 3, and 3 of 3, then you're done. So this is how I'm interpreting, right? So it's never black and white. It's transition. Trend reversal doesn't happen overnight or in few days, and it's always proven retrospectively. At this moment, nobody can say this is the bottom. If anyone says this is the bottom, is assuming. There's no harm in assuming. That's not how it works. You can say that person is optimistic. Very well. But the point is, once you have that kind of mindset, the problem is if it goes down, the mind will not change. So there's nothing wrong in saying this is it, this is the bottom. But the problem is if it starts going down, then mind takes time to reverse the stand. That's the problem with most of the people. There's nothing wrong in being optimistic, but when you become very optimistic at a very bottom, then it's a psychological thing. Then the shade of the color takes time, because right now if you are on gray, it is easy to become, change it to black, com- compared to changing from white to black. You know what I'm saying? So mind is like that. If you are very firmly believer of end of the downtrend, and if it starts going down, mind will take time. So what we want to do is we'll say, okay, you know what, um, potentially this could be the bottom, but I'm not going to accept unless I see these three levels to be broken above. And so it's like you kind of graduate your mind, or you tune your mind slowly as price gains. With this kind of approach, it's easy to move towards the downside and easy to move towards, because it's not like on off switch. It's like a dimmer switch, as I always say. If you so Trend reversal is like a dimmer switch. It doesn't turn on and off instantaneously. So that's the easy way to explain. So these interim levels that you see on in white is important, of course, important, but these three levels that I mentioned are super important as far as trend is concerned. And of course, so this is the bull scenario which I mentioned. It has to break about this immediate decisive level as then this and this and this, so on. And on a lower side, of course, if it breaks below 21K or maybe 20K, then the game is over. So you may consider 20K as a key support. Then the game is over for this bounce. That means it could follow something like that and hit 13K range. So that's a downside scenario. Now, what are the challenges? Now, I think I covered that part. Inflationary pressure is driving the Bitcoin price, because a lot of Bitcoin and a lot of crypto trading happens on credit money, and the credit gets expensive with higher interest rate. Then that activity is impacted because there's lesser liquidity, because there's credit crunch. Um, Credit is, and that's the effect, and that's what is happening because inflation is rising and the interest rates are going up. Basically, that's the economics. Very simple. There's nothing to do with fundamentals. The fundamentals are beyond crypto. Let me tell you, the fundamental of crypto is solid, and it was solid in 2018 as well. So, the crypto fundamentals as an ecosystem is actually is good only. I would compare this with dot-com bubble, where a lot of innovation happened for 10 years, 90s to 2000. If you study that time phase, a lot of innovation happened in 90s all the way to 2000, and it busted because that was too much of credit, too much of investment for something which is very trivial. But the same innovative phase of that decade gave birth to many tech giants in present days: Google, Amazon, and so many, and so many, and most of them died. They couldn't make out. I mean, they couldn't survive. So I think this 10 years since 2010, but for crypto, I mean, for alts, it's more like 2016 onwards. So last 6 years. So this is very early stage, where every year we're going to see coin will go up, and then some coin and most of the coin will vanish. If you look at coin market cap, you will see what were the top 20 coins since in last 10 years, or maybe you don't have to go 10 years, in fact 6 years. Then you would see that only hard few of them are able to retain that spot. that tells that every 1 year, 2 year, there are always some new coins, and not each and every coin is going to survive if we fast forward to the future. So because a lot of innovation happens, some innovation stay, some innovation is short term and very hard to predict. But that, so it's a different topic. But coming back to the price action, what I mean is the, this as long as inflationary pressure is high, Bitcoin is not going to go up. So even price goes up to 26K, 34K, it's not going to reverse the trend. It is going to prolong, and it's going to give a bounce. It requires much higher level, the green level, for it to make a new all-time high. So we have to consider there is a short-term bounce, short-term gain, and there is a long-term trend that that is different. And but we'll be able to figure it out because we know the levels. So if I talk about those, the oil has started going up, as you noticed last week. Now it is so it kind of bounced off the critical support. Even natural gas bounced off the critical support, and it has to go higher for it to make new all-time high and put pressure. So right now, if you look at this, is very like interesting phase of time where the inflationary factors are bouncing. Even the bond yields have started going up. So a few of these key factors started bouncing off after some correction. Now they're also in transition from the recent drop, and Bitcoin is also in transition from the recent drop, of course, in opposite direction. So what is interesting is this few days, few weeks is going to tell us whether those commodities are going to recover from their previous, recent drop and continue going up. And if the answer is yes, then this thing is going, Bitcoin is going down and make new low. It's as simple as that, because that has been a case, and that is the direct link as far as price action is concerned. There is nothing else. Okay, even stock market. So people say it's in line with stock market, but they are missing the point that the stock market and Bitcoin are in line with inflationary factors. So it is wrong to say Bitcoin is following Nasdaq. In fact, both Nasdaq and Bitcoin is following those inflationary factors. That's how I put, that's my interpretation. In fact, I consider Bitcoin as a tech, kind of a tech stock as far as behavior is concerned, high beta tech stock. Right. So that's why there is a correlationship. There is a reason, because when money comes, goes to stocks and Bitcoin in different proportion, percentage wise. It's because this is another investment vehicle for some of the high net worth individuals or entities. It's not about revolution. It's not about changing the world for them. For Wall Street and other financial firms, it's about money. It's not about revolution. They follow the money, right? So that's the mentality. I have the same mentality. Of course, I mean, with also with the expectation that whosoever is charging a lot, like current system, that has to be replaced by new technology. So technology point of view, that has to be revamped in the way we do transaction, because the money we pay to the traditional system is too much. So that has to be changed. But we cannot paint everything with a broad brush, because in crypto we cannot say everything is good. We saw what happened. So many people lost so much, and there are going to be many cases like that. Many companies are going to bankrupt, and they're going to take away money. Like it happened in past, it is happening, and it's going to happen. So the point is, saying the crypto is the way to go is not the right thing. I think it's always about picking the right project from a long-term point of view. So we cannot blame the current system totally, and we cannot praise the crypto system totally. There's always something good in both these sides, and I think it's about convergence. So it's not that crypto is going to replace the current system, it's going to be conversion. So the old system, new system, because it's all about the players are going to be big players. They're going to take the new system, replace the old system with the new system, and that's what is going to happen in next decade or so. So it's not either or. It's, to me, this is technology upgradation. So old technology, like if you look at in 1960s and 70s, the mainframe, the IBM was the ruler, right? And then distributed system came in 60s and 70s. Mainframe systems were the rulers. You can search up. And still, like when I was working in bank, we were still using mainframe system from 1960s. You won't believe it, because they are fast and old, and sometime it takes time to change, and banks are slow in change. But you won't believe we were running system from 1960s and still in place. So you won't believe those kind of systems still exist. So think about it. So those things were replaced by distributed system like Oracle database and web 2 basically, and so many database, and now so many other bases have come. This is new database. Blockchain is a new database. It's more distributed in nature, but not everything is distributed, as we know. So to me, the whole ecosystem, it's about technology upgradation, nothing else. And only those who understand technology will be able to figure out what is good, what is not good. For other non-techie, it's not going to be possible, in my opinion. You read whatever you read, you are not going to get anything if you're not technical, because there's no way to find out. Like it's like a medicine, you have to rely on doctors. You if doctor says take this pill, you're going to take this pill. You're not going to argue why I should take this pill, that kind of a thing. So some subjects are very niche, and it's very hard to figure it out what is really happening unless you know that subject. So that's what. So if you really want to know the fundamental, you have to be technically sound for you to know that what is really good, what is not. And sometimes that is also tough, because not everything is transparent or publicly available, so it's challenging. Anyway, so that's a different topic. Let me come back to the price action. So at this moment, we can enjoy the bounce, but there are two things, the two main events coming up: CPI, the US inflationary number for last month is going to come up for the June month next week. And then by month end, the FOMC meeting, again, everybody's talking about 75 basis point, 0.75% interest rate hike. Now, whether it's priced in or not, it's will come to know, in my opinion. So in next week or so, when the CPI number will come out, it's likely to be higher. Unless that number goes down, the market may not act positively. So whatever bounce we see, maybe for a few days, the moment the number comes out, I think we're going to see some decisive action, because then market will try to interpret what Fed might do and in the FOMC meeting, because the Fed is going to take that CPI number, of course, and many other things, but one of the major factors, and come up with a number. I think so. If the inflation, long story short, if inflation is not going to go down, Bitcoin is not going to go up. As simple as that. And what are the factors are going to contribute in inflation? We have to track them, and I'm tracking them as far as, I mean, as far as whatever data is available and my knowledge goes. So I'll keep sharing with you. So for short term, until the inflationary number comes out, potentially this could go up on a, now I'm talking about fundamentals. Okay, the earlier what I talked was about levels, pure technical levels, and now this is more fundamental levels, and we are trying to club together, because then we get some date where for which we can look forward. And yeah, so certain dates are important and certain levels are important. Other fundamentals are nonsense in my point of view. Those are speculatives. These are the fundamentals driving the price. Nonsense means not in a negative way, means point is it doesn't make sense. That's what I mean. Okay, so the project might be good, but price has nothing to do with value. Another thing is people try to connect valuation with price. It's not the same. It's not the same. Okay, what else should we talk about? So this is Bitcoin. We can go on Bitstamp and have a look at what weekly looks like. So this is weekly chart we have. Oh, I hit levels. Maybe I was doing something. Yeah. Let me turn on. Okay. Yeah, we got this. So this is a key levels. Now weekly is super simple, unlike daily, because we are now zooming out. In this one, this is the potential opportunity where we can say this is a potential bottom. Why not? Each support is a potential bottom, especially when there is a major support. And what we want is price to be somewhere here, because this was the pattern we were tracking. I don't know why we don't have the upper line here. It got removed somehow, moved somewhere else. But I had this line here, this sign, this line. We were tracking this rectangular pattern, if you remember. So price broke below, hit this support. What we want is price to be in it, and ideally it should be somewhere here, and which is actually in line with 44K level that you saw on one day, because this was the earlier trend line we were tracking when it was on the rectangular pattern. When it was broken, we say we are in trouble, and when this is broken, we saw the trouble. It was like that. So now if I simplify, this has to re-enter and then ideally sit somewhere here and make progress. Then we can say this, we'll see next new high. So this is weekly, and of course this could go up, whether it's here or here, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It could go all the way here in touches. It doesn't matter on a weekly, right? And then on a downside, it could make me a low like this. So during this time, you could imagine if right now everything is looking good, the alts are moving up. Why not? Because BTC is moving up. So at different pace, different alts would move up. Looks positive. So as long as BTC continue to make progress, alts are going to fire up without any doubt, right? So that is given. Everybody knows. So each level that so if BTC starts going down, then of course you have to be again change the stand. So it's like whatever you think from a short-term point of view. In my point of view, if I mean nothing is say okay, I'm going to buy, put in my hardware wallet, this is it. You may it's a choice, but point is this is not the time. Maybe when it is here. So everything, all the gain that you see, let's assume that is for short term unless we get confirmation. So that's my stand. I mean, on the downside, as I said, there is no prices. As I said, this crypto is crazy. When it starts moving up, the recovery can happen in matter of few months because it could really go up fast. So, and when the correction is concerned, it could go all the way to 10K easily, and worst case is 5,500. Now, this red line is not something we should talk about, but 13K, 10K is still on the table. So that's weekly. I think that's it. We don't have to complicate this weekly analysis in my point of view. Well, let's look at the different alts, right? And we want to see where they stand. That's it. And also we are capturing key levels. So you can, I'm not updating the chart, the resistance level, because I'll update only when it makes new high, right? Because I stopped updating after the all-time high, because now you have this video. So if you're interested, you can fast forward to any active coin and look at this video very easy. So I'm going to cover each and every coin here quickly. So it's now, this is good news. You see, it bounced, taking time here makes sense, right? It's a resistance now, and now you can expect it to go towards S3. AVAX, similar thing. This is consolidation phase. We could see up to the upper bound. We covered this one last week, so nothing much. So we added these boxes. So I think we had to track that. Nothing much there. Nothing much there. Right, so this is the boundary. Those similar thing. This is the boundary. I'm clicking each and every one so you get the latest snapshot when you revisit the video. That's why. Otherwise, it's more or less the same. Compared to last week, there's nothing much, you see. It's the same. FIL, more or less the same. Let's support here. I don't have a box, but I could add one. It's not a problem. FTM, there's a box there. So this could be this. This is our sample one for all, like more detailed one for how the price is price action. Yeah. So we have this pattern on Sol and a couple of a few other coins. So this is Gala. Maybe this is the range. HNT, we got the range. KCS is showing strength today. We saw. So if it can, this is one of the strongest coins. I always mention, remember, one of the strongest coins. It didn't fall compared to, so you can measure how much percentage drop from the all-time high, and you will find some of the coins were really good. KC is one of them. Few of them, not so many. I think BNB is one of them. KDA, this is consolidation zone. Link, it's consolidating here. LTC, this was a support. It made a new low, so maybe we can draw additional line here. I didn't bother to add more supports because they're going down after some time. So it's like useless. Luna, not bad. Look at it. So this is a box. It's trying to recover. See, at least see this this weekly. There's a weekly high from this weekly low high. So there's progress, but a lot of volatility for sure. MANA is still consolidating here. There's nothing major there. Matic was good yesterday. Today it's little down, but not a major thing. It's making progress. So it's bouncing off the circle that we had earlier. Nice bounce. So it could go all the way to the orange line, by the way. So maybe I can extend this even further. go to this line. This is also similar thing today, showing strength. See, today, yesterday, Matic was going up. Today, one is going up. So today, tomorrow, day, so percentage gain for different coins could be different. That's not how you will measure the progress. RNDR, for an example, was extremely volatile. Like it made this high and now doing nothing, more or less, and lost value. So when it, so a week ago, roughly 10 days ago, 10 to 15 days ago, it was like a star, like as if like going to shoot up like anything, and then now doing not doing much. In fact, lost value and added more volatility. So this is how it is. Sometimes some coins pumped up. We are not going to know the reasons because who knows who are those buyers and all that, why they pump and then do nothing. So those reasons are never known, and I don't bother to find out. When you have to look at it weekly and see the progress, and this coin doing making progress, but it's volatile. Sand, not bad. So it's trying to climb up. This is its first level. Then the next is this. So maybe it's able to break above, and maybe this is the region. So maybe I'll extend this. SKL, this is the low. I don't have the line. I can add one. And again, we could expect it to see price range. Here it will be higher. We'll see next week. For now, this is good enough. So it's bouncing today. So is also range bound. You see, do this, and this is its range. So first hurdle is this red line. If it is able to break above, then this is the orange one. And if it breaks above in the green one, then very interesting. 85 plus is going to make a difference. Then it's going, I think, will go. So this is like one first hurdle, second hurdle, and this is the last one. Right, so that's it. So it covers all the active coins, and we have Spectrum list. You have Spectrum coin. Those who have Spectrum would be tracking Spectrum, right? So we have good list. You don't need a lot of coins, in my opinion. And yeah, so let's keep an eye on BTC. As I mentioned, you can revisit this video if you want. So that's it for today and this week. I'll keep you posted on the development. Thanks everyone.